My name's Dominic Bridgman. I work for a charity called the IMouth International Sailcraft Association. And we have this boat, Huff, and some smaller keel boats. We do work with people learning how to maintain the boats and how to sail them, as well as general charter and anything that we can do to get an income to help defray the cost of keeping the boats, because that's the main issue. But it's very important that we make them available to people to use and to see. For young people that come with us, we've had people who've started as crew. They've come on as even paying crew, or they've been funded to do a voyage. From that, if they show an interest and a desire to do more, then, and there are lots of pathways. With us, having people who know the boat, who can come back and help crew the boat, is really good. And it's a learning curve for them because they're part of the staff rather than part of the customer. With a yacht, it's not just your sailing skills, your people skills are very important. With the smaller boats, then people skills are important, but your sailing skills are very important as well. But there's a pathway through all of that. Improving your sailing skills by experience. We can give people the techniques of sailing and boat handling, but you can't teach people experience. Well, contacts are important because you can't pay for that experience all the time. It just costs you a fortune, so you can't do that. So you need to get yourself into a position where you come onto the boat as a useful person, someone that they will have on, and you can live on the boat. So it's not costing you. You're living off the boat, and you're learning, and you can then be put as a bosun in that sort of position where you will be given duties to maintain. Around the country there are a lot of sail training. Mostly the trusts, the charities, and they come out and they get a very positive, reaffirming life. It's boosting their self-esteem just by taking responsibility, by being involved with the teamwork and life on board, because it's a very small space. We're like a pressure cooker, so you put them in there, and people have to get on. You're just allowing them to learn to live together, and encouraging that. So it's all to do with the domestics. The idea of being on a watch, so you're in a watch, and there again, that's perfect for your young person who's looking to get into the industry. If they've got a watch leader's ticket, then they are really useful, because you've got to have someone like that. So if I've got myself and a mate who are professional qualified yacht masters, and I've got another person, a young person who's a watch leader who might have done a couple of trips already, someone I can leave on watch and trust to be a lookout and so on. It just makes our life so much easier. And they know they're important to all of this. You need to have a desire, really. It's desire as much as anything. To sail, if you're sailing on a larger boat, being able to sail is pretty fundamental, I think. Ideally, you would do that sailing on small boats. Every club needs voluntary help to sort things out, to maintain boats. Maintaining them is a major issue. And to work with people and to understand people, and a desire to take responsibility of what you need. And if you've got the desire to learn, then that will come. So I come to it as a sailor coming on, and I've managed to learn more about maintaining wooden boats. So the maintenance is a way to stretch out your income, if you like, or from the boat. In the winter time, you've got to like sailing, you've got to like the life of going out to sea. It is quite different. It's very different to life ashore. It's almost a complete reverse. If we're sailing, this is our home, so this is where we live, and we don't then go off somewhere to work. We're here, and what we're doing all the time is moving our home around and maintaining our home and thinking about where it's going and where we're going to finish up today. Because it's a floating object, you don't actually have time where there's nothing to think about. In a skipper's role, you're constantly aware of what's going on, so it fills you up. You don't sit around bored. because you can't, and you love doing that stuff. The sense of freedom is, yeah, it is a freedom, of course it is. And as most setups like we are, we're a school. We every voyage when people come out, they will log their hours. We will teach them stuff. We will get them towards the next level. And you have your logbook, and it's all there quite clearly what you have to do to get to the next level of competence. So after a few weeks, you could then be qualified as a watch leader, and then you feel useful. What we do is try and encourage people to want to learn, and if you make the learning good, a positive experience, then you want to do more. Have a boat, off you go. And then you realise, crikey, I don't really know much about this, and I'm scared myself quite a lot. I wonder what I can do about that. Go to a school and they will help you in that way. Oh, of course, do this, do that. Much better. Things to think about, you know, like the weather forecast, the tides, and preparation. I mean, there's the other sides of it, if you like, because you can get, that's just like on a practical, very accessible level. But you can go, if it's you and you want to learn more, then you start navigating, you start thinking about those kinds of stuff. I have to say, none of this stuff I think is very difficult. What people find difficult is trying to cope with all of it in one go. And that is where the experience comes in. You've got to find a way of doing it. It doesn't cost so much. Just start loving the idea that you've got something that will take you away from where you are, you know? I love that. I love that.